Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to be in Daniel 12. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael, which is talking about Michael the archangel, and also when you go to that word archangel, in the etymology of that word, in the Greek it's archai angelos, which is chief messenger, chief angel. All right, so this is speaking about Michael, which he's basically he's the head of the angels, of all the angels. He's above Gabriel, he's above Raphael. He's the chief angel, okay? So it says, this is talking about the time of the end, right? Talking about Jacob's trouble, because we're getting close to Jacob's trouble. And how do we know that? Because we know that the RFID C-hit is knocking on the door, okay? It's not around the corner. It's literally knocking on the door, all right? It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, and the great prince, which standeth for the sons of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. Every one that shall be found written in the book. All right, so you have to be written in the book to be delivered. So who's going to be written in the book? It's going to be the elect, the remnant, the 1/3 of Israel, okay? You ain't written in that book, and remember, the book is pre-written, just like the scriptures. It's pre-written, you see? So is the book, okay? The book of life is pre-written. So really, we're just drawing out the elect, okay? We're not converting the elect. We're just drawing them out because they've already been written in the book. So the prophets, when we're the mouth of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, and our function is merely to draw them out. All right, it's not like we can convert somebody that's a 2/3 and they become an elect because you taught them the scripture. No, we don't have that power. Only Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai can open the 2/3 eyes. Okay, so that's what it is. And all right, so yeah, you have to be written in the book, and only the elect, the remnant, the 1/3, the prophets are in that book, the book of life. Okay, so let's keep reading. Verse 2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. All right, and that's dealing with obviously the ones who are in the spirit realm, right? Who are in the dust of the earth. You sleep. It's a metaphor. You're sleeping in the dust of the earth when you die. You go back to the dust, right? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So, those ones that are going to be going to everlasting life are of the elect who are right now in the spiritual realm. Okay. And if you're a heathen or a 2/3 or an heathen, well, I'm sorry. If you're a heathen, it means say 2/3, because the 2/3 are actually going to have everlasting life. That's the mercy Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai. He's going to even have on these 2/3 of Israel. All right, but if you're a heathen, you're going to be in everlasting contempt. Okay. So let's see. Let me just Let me just get that word contempt really quick. That's what it means. It means to scorn, disdain, disrespect, neglect, disregard. These are all similar words, all right? So let me read this for you. This is the first definition on contempt. The feeling that a person or thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. So that's going to be the heathen, all right? Like we tell you, the heathen are vain, meaning worthless, useless. Okay? Verse 3, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. All right? And so that's talking about the prophets. All right? Because the prophets, and really, we're not converting anybody. Like I said, we're drawing them out. We're just Yahweh's mouth. So we speak Yahweh's words, and his words resonates with the elect. Okay? And that's why they turn to righteousness, because they're of the elect. They understand the truth, but it's the prophet's job to to break it down for the elect. And we rise up early. Let me see if I can get that real quick. So it's in Jeremiah. Grab this precept. Jeremiah 35 and 15, it says, I have sent also unto you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them. All right, because the prophets, we rise up early, meaning we get this knowledge before everyone else. So then we go out and we do the work. We do the videos. These are modern day epistles, which is epistle is a letter. Because remember, back in the day, in the ancient, right, the disciples were doing epistles, letters, right, sending letters, documenting things, writing them down, publishing them. All right. So now we're in the information age. We got that tool, which is the internet, and all we got to do is record our voice on the internet. These are modern day letters, modern day epistles. All right. And they're letters to the elect. All right, and also to other prophets. The other prophets learn from each other. So let me read this from the top again. Jeremiah 35 and 15. I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early, because the prophets get the understanding first, and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other powers or gods to serve them, and ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your fathers, but ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me. All right. So that's the 2/3. The 2/3, they're not gonna listen. They're not gonna incline their ears or hearken, which means listen to the prophets, which we're using Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the words of Yahweh. All right. So that's what it is. Let me go back to Daniel 12 and 3, and that's those wise that are gonna shine. The prophets are gonna shine. If we're Lord's will, I'm in that number. But listen, this wisdom, it makes you shine, right? That reminds me of a verse, right? Ecclesiastes, I believe 8 and 1. It says, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? And the interpretation of what thing? Of the scriptures. And man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. You see that? Just like we're reading in Daniel. You see, the wise shall be as the brightness of the firmament. All right? Verse 4. He says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. Even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And again, why is... All right, first off, let's deal with sealing the book. So Yahweh told Daniel to seal the book until the time of the end. Right? But then we go to Revelation, because Yahweh Shai had to come on the scene. Before Yahweh Shai, remember, our prophets, our nation fell off. The remnant was still there. The prophets were still there, his true prophets. Not talking about the false prophets of Israel from the Old Testament, but there were obviously, righteous prophets who were in the right mindset, who Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai preserved for the truth. Okay, so we go to Revelation. Because remember, he told Daniel to seal the book. So, it's Revelation 5. And I'll start at the top. It says, and I saw in the right, Revelation 5:1, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? Remember, the seals were sealed because Daniel was commanded to seal the book, right? So if you have a book and it's sealed, you can't read that book. You can't have the knowledge of what's inside that book. Verse 3, and no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, right? We just read about those people under the earth, the ones that are sleeping in the dust, which are in the spirit realm, right? So nobody in the spirit realm, nobody none of the angels, none of the people on the earth was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 4. So what happened with John? He says, and I wept much because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. So John started crying. He was saddened by the fact that nobody was worthy to open the book, or the seals were on the book. Nobody, the angel said, who's worthy? And then all of a sudden, verse 5, and one of the elders saith unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. All right? So this is why we always tell you, because of Yahweh Shai, we have the understanding of the book. Because when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, he said, what did he say? He says, I am the way, the truth, the life. Right? Let me get that verse right quick. Which is John 14:6. It says, Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. You see? The only way we can come to the Father is through Yahweh Shai. The only way we have the understanding of the Bible is because of Yahweh Shai. All right? He had disciples. Yahweh Shai knew the whole truth. He had to teach it to his disciples in parables. When Yahweh Shai was put on the cross, and they put him to death, now his disciples became apostles, which that word apostle means sent away to teach, right? It means sent away. That's what the apostles were commanded to do, teach. But remember, nobody had this knowledge. Nobody had the understanding. Israel had been casted off. Israel was, let's get it real quick in Hosea 1. Let's see right here. This is why when you read in the Old Testament and Yahweh was talking shit about the prophets, because he casted our nation away. Except you got to remember, he always reserves his remnant. He always preserves or reserves, however you want to say it, his remnant, or he's going to keep certain men that are going to always have this spirit in us. This is in Hosea. And it was talking about Gomer, his wife. Let's see. Let's just start at, let's see. All right. So this is his second child with Gomer. All right, and it was his son. We'll start right here in Hosea 1:9. Then said Yahweh, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power or your God. All right. Yet the number of the sons of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured or numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. All right, so this is a huge mercy. First, Yahweh, he says, Hosea, you're going to go take, first you got to go take a prostitute, a whore. You're going to have some children with her, right? Because he wanted Hosea to basically have an idea of what it felt like for himself, for Yahweh. Because remember, he's a jealous power. So there was a reason he got so pissed. When you're jealous, like when a husband, wife leaves him and she goes and commits adultery, he's going to have rage and jealousy in him and anger, right? So he wanted Hosea to have an idea of what it felt like. He said, "Oh, go take on Gomer. She's a prostitute, a whore." Right? If you read this whole chapter, well, let me read it. I'll read verse 2, Hosea 1 and 2. The beginning of the word of the Lord Yahweh by Hosea, and Yahweh said to Hosea, "Go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and the sons of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord." So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. All right, so that's what it is, and let's keep going down. I might have been wrong on the number of kids they had, but Salakia. But anyway, we jump to 1 and 9 again. It says, "Then said Yahweh, call his name Lo Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power." So basically, this is an example of Yahweh casting away his people, right? So we were casted away. Then we had basically, it was all about Yahweh Shai from that point on. Once Yahweh Shai, because after Hosea, which was he was of the northern kingdom. After Hosea, and this was the Assyrian captivity, because remember, our people during the time of Hosea, this is when we came to the Americas. So a lot had to happen during the time of Hosea before we were going to be, before Yahweh was going to have mercy on us. All right? Because if you go into the account of Ecclesiasticus, maybe I'm going too many places, but it's all through the Spirit. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, and I believe it's, is it 43? Let's see if I can find this verse. Okay, I had it backward. I was looking at Ecclesiasticus. I'm really tripping. I don't know why I thought Ecclesiasticus. Esdras. I should have known that. Anyway, I was thinking I had the right number, but it's 2nd Esdras 13 and 41 is what I'm looking for. Because remember, during the time of Hosea, this is when the northern kingdom. Let's read it. We'll start right here at 40. 2nd Esdras 13. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, who Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. But they took counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. All right, so this is when the northern kingdom, when the so-called Hispanic, Latino, Native American tribes left during the Assyrian captivity, and it was during the time of Hosea, okay, the king Hosea. And that's why Yahweh told Hosea, hey, I want you to go take Gomer, which was a prostitute, a whore. So you can kind of get an idea how I feel when my people left me. You're going to be with this hoe. Because, a woman leaves a man. That's pretty much, according to the scriptures, there's nothing more wicked than the wickedness of a woman, especially when she's being a whore, you see. So he wanted that to resonate with Hosea, and he told him to name his son, one of his sons, Lo Ami, which means not my people. Because why? Because the nation of Israel, Yahweh casted us off. He had mercy by keeping the remnant, by keeping the prophets. All right? Let's see if I can get a quick verse on that understanding for you. Well, there's two verses that I can pull up. Let's see. The first one is in 1 Kings 19 and 18. It says, "Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which hath not kissed him." See, and 7 is a complete number, so it's not necessarily 7,000 people, just a complete number of men from Israel who have not bowed down to Baal, which Baal deals with, Satan, or the false idols. Then I'll jump to Romans 11 and 4. It says, "But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal." All right, and that's just the same thing in this time. There's a complete number of men, which are the prophets, and the elect is going to listen to the prophets. Oh, let me read verse 5. It goes in on it, because this is talking about during the time of Rome. But guess what? America is spiritual Rome. It's an extension of the Roman Empire. So we just read about the 7,000 men, which is a complete number of men, which is the elect, right? The prophets. And then you read in verse 5, "Even so, then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace." You see that? So the remnant, hey, the remnant, the election, the 1/3, whatever you want to call it, that's the ones who we don't bow down the knee to the image of Baal. In this time, the image of Baal would be this beast system of Esau, right? For those who can understand and receive that. But that's what it is. It's a complete number of men who are not gonna, we're not gonna sell out if you for lack of better words. Let's go to Daniel 12. So remember, Yahweh Shai, it was him who he had to be crucified and perfect. He was that perfect sacrifice that brought us back into the grace of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. If it were not for Yahweh Shai, we would still be Lo Ami, which means not my people. And if not for the elect, if not for the remnant, we would still be Lo Ami, not my people in the Hebrew. So if you could understand it, Yahweh Shai, and that makes sense because Yahweh Shai went on the cross and was crucified. But guess what? The elect, and during the time of Yahweh Shai, during the time of the Roman captivity, the elect believed in Yahweh Shai. That was those men who had not bowed down to Baal, that complete number of men from Israel, which did not bow down. And it's like we tell you, right? Things always repeat themselves because of the reincarnation. So let me grab this real quick. I'm tripping. Hold on. Ecclesiastes 1 is 9. Yeah. It says, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So there's no new thing under the sun. Every captivity, every generation, every age, every time frame, the Yahweh has kept his elect. He's reserved or preserved his elect. Right? He's had his true prophets. All right. There's no new thing under the sun. So it happened during Rome. We just read that. Let's go back to that real quick. Romans. Let me see. Romans 11:5. It says, "Even so, then, at this present time, there is also a remnant according to the election of grace." So even now, we fast forward to the American captivity. There's a remnant according to the elect of grace, the election of grace. All right, there's no new thing under the sun. The elect is in every age. Hey, if you go back to the time of Noah, the elect of that time of the flood was Noah. It was 8 people only. All right, Noah and his wife and his daughters and their husbands. That was the elect during Noah's time. All right, now you have an elect according to each captivity, this is our final captivity. Babylon America there's still an elect, there's still a remnant, there's still righteous prophets who are set up to teach according to knowledge and truth and wisdom, right? So this is the elect in every age. Going back to Daniel, verse 5. Then I, Daniel, looked. Oh, wait, I didn't read that before. Oh, it's locked in. 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. All right, so why does the knowledge increase? It's because of the internet. Because of we have access at our fingertips. Like if I'm reading the scripture and I see a word that I'm not familiar with, or I'm not quite sure what it means, guess what? 2 seconds later, I know what it means because the knowledge is increased because we got these computers in our hands. So you think the internet was set up for anything besides truly for the prophets? Really, that's what it was set up for. The Lord put the spirit on these Edomites and all these other heathen to develop the internet. If someone had an idea, and this was during the 90s, maybe before that, but I remember having a teacher back in, I graduated in 95, and I remember one of the teachers, he was speaking about the internet, and he was so excited about it, and nobody knew what the hell it was when he was talking about it. I didn't know what it was. Nobody knew what it was. But this dude, he was trying to explain it to us in class one day, and he was so excited about the internet, and really, like, fast forward to now, this is 27 years later, and 28 years later, almost 30 years, and now, hey, everything's coming to fruition. We know with the internet, the main purpose of the internet is to push this truth, push Yahweh Bashem's true doctrine, true knowledge, right? And it brings me to a precept in remembrance. Deuteronomy 32:2, it says, "My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of Yahweh, ascribe ye greatness unto our power." See that? So the doctrine drops as the rain in these last days, right? Because when it's raining, it means it touches everything. All right? That's what this internet's doing for this truth, or this truth's doing through the internet. It's falling like the rain. It's dropping like the rain, touching everything. Daniel 12. So that's that knowledge being increased, man. Daniel 12:5. And like our little Apostle Tahar always says, hey, we know more than Daniel. Because when Daniel was giving the visions, Well, we're gonna read it. We'll read it. We know more than Daniel, the prophet Daniel. The prophets in this age know more than Daniel, because the book was sealed. See, and even Daniel admits, as we keep reading, that he didn't understand the vision that the angel gave him. All right, and let me just go to this real quick, because you might be sitting there thinking, oh well, there ain't no prophets. Like you're gonna be like these Christians. There ain't no prophet. Yeah, God doesn't have prophets anymore. No man is a prophet no more. These Christians believe that, and they say that. We go to Wisdom of Solomon 7:27. It says, and this is talking about wisdom. It says, and being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. And that word means refreshed. So meaning we had this knowledge because we were on this earth before. We were prophets in our past lives. If you're a prophet now, you were a prophet in your past life. If you were a false prophet in your past life, you're a false prophet now. Nothing new under the sun. But that word, when you go into that word new, it means refreshed. All right, so it's not like it's a new thing. No, we're just being refreshed, coming into remembrance, understanding what we already knew in the past. All right, it says, and in all ages entering into holy souls. Those holy souls that it's talking about, wisdom enters into, are the Lord's prophets. Watch. She maketh them friends of Yahweh, or friends of the Most High, and prophets. So guess what? We're Yahweh's friends, and we're prophets. You see? And we're in all ages. We were in the beginning of the ages. We were in the Middle Ages. And we're in these last days. This is a new age. This is the last age. All right? The prophets are here, man. The prophets are on the scene. Kahala Yahweh Bashin Yahushai. Okay? Daniel 12:5. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, and the one on the side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be until the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, which was an angel, then when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, times and a half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. So the end couldn't come until we were scattered in every single nation, because that's the mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He wasn't going to deprive a certain area on the earth or a certain nation without having a prophet in their town, right? And I'm just using an example, but you get what I'm saying. This was mercy, and the angel said, hey, this ain't going to come until the scattering happens. That's why we're going to be gathered from all over the planet Earth. But again, the largest gathering is going to come out of Babylon. We read it earlier in the place in Hosea, the place where they were told they are not my people. The same place they shall be known that they are the sons of Yahweh. Right, going back into Hosea, the first chapter. But it was all the Lord's will. First, we had to be scattered in every single area, every single region, every single nation, every single speck of the earth. Because that's the mercy of Yahweh. He's going to give you a prophet. You're going to have a prophet in a town near you. Right? And if you have the internet, then hey, that's your prophet. You see? This is a mercy from Yahweh. Alright? Let me grab this real quick. Luke 1:70. Because Yahweh's he's not gonna be coming down and talking to you people personally, face to face, or like some of these people you always see these false prophets or talking about, oh yeah, God spoke to me last night. God spoke. No, mother effer. Yahweh speaks to you through his mouth, who are his prophets. This is it. Luke 1:70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. You see that? We just read that in the Wisdom of Solomon. The prophets are in all ages. And it's mercy. We are mercy. The Lord having mercy on the nation of Israel by putting the Spirit on his prophets to prophesy. That's a great mercy. All right? Daniel 12 and 8. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? You see that? So he, like, literally, Daniel was like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. He was telling Yahweh, he was telling the angels, I don't understand what you're telling me. So when you hear Apostle Tahar say we know more than the prophets of old, don't get it twisted. Don't feel like, oh, he's put himself above the prophets of old, because when you get technical, the prophets are old. We are those prophets. It's like we wrote letters to ourselves, because of the regeneration, the reincarnation. And I'm glad because I'm reading Daniel chapter 12, because the very last verse in this chapter touches on reincarnation or regeneration. So I can bring that up while I'm breaking down this chapter. All right? It says, and go thy way, Daniel, for the words are close. So Daniel didn't understand. So don't get mad at Apostle Tahar and say, oh, you're acting arrogant, or you think you're better than the ancient prophets. No, he's just being honest, like always. He's just telling you the truth. Even Daniel said, I understood not. He didn't understand what the Lord was showing him, what the angel was showing him. Verse 9. And he said, the angel tried to tell him, but he still didn't understand it. Verse 9. And Daniel had wisdom also. So, it just wasn't the time for that. It wasn't the time. Like, he knew about the trouble. He knew about the trouble that Israel would face in the last days, but he didn't understand it, and he didn't know exactly what it meant. Let me see. Verse 9. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. See? So in the time of the end, remember, Yahushua was the one who had to come on the scene and loosen those seals. And he was the only man worthy to loosen the seals, worthy to give us this understanding, give us this truth. So now, when Daniel had the word sealed up, hey, he just had to leave it, let it be. Let it manifest. Let it marinate. Like they say in the world, I'm just sitting here marinating. Let the book had just marinate at that time. Verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white. Look, that's the elect. We're being purified through this truth. Where do we prove that? It's in Psalms, I think, 119:11. Let's get it. I think it's Psalms 119:11. No, that's not it. Okay, Psalm 119:9. I was 2 verses off. Psalm 119:9 says, Beth, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. So how do we cleanse our way? How do we become purified? By taking heed according to the word. Okay? So now we go back to Daniel 12:10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried. See, who's the many? The prophets, the young men, the babes, right? The babes in the truth, right? Which that word babe means insignificant, because we're insignificant, man. The prophets are insignificant. All right? It's a metaphor. Many shall be purified and made white, which are the prophets, and tried. Who's tried? The acceptable. Well, let's get this real quick. Who's tried? Who's made purified? Who's made white? Tells you in Ecclesiastes 2, is it 5? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. See that? I think I was in that yesterday in my lesson. So now I want to go to Isaiah 13:12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. See, so that's who's made, and precious means rare. So the ones who are going to be purified and made white and tried are the prophets. It's rare. There's only 144,000 prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but yet there's like 8 billion people on the planet Earth. And the prophets, 144,000, your seed line has to go back to Israel. Otherwise, you there's no way you're a true prophet of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So let me go back to Daniel. We're almost done here. Daniel 12:10, it says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. See, so this is another one of those verses that helps us discern who's the elect and who's not of the elect. If you can't understand this truth after it's been broken down to you, we're going to just disregard you. We're going to move on from you, because it tells you right here, the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. And we know that the wicked starts out with Esau, Edom, but our own people are wicked because they follow Esau, Edom. They don't follow the Lord's prophets, or they don't follow Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So if we're breaking down the scriptures to you at the camp, and you still can't get it, or you don't understand, guess what? We're gonna put you in that category of a 2/3, or a heathen, or the wicked. All right. The Bible tells us it's an easy playbook. It's like you get the playbook when you used to play football. If you played football, you would get a playbook, and some of the plays were like easy to remember. Right? You had the halfback run through the number 2 hole. You have the what was it? You run through the 2 hole, but it's the number 3 back. So that would have been like a halfback 32 dive, right? Meaning the third back, because you got the quarterback, the fullback, and the halfback. I was a halfback back in the day. So that was my play. Well, actually, my play was the draw play when I was a running back. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, the 32, that was basic. The 3 back going through the 2 hole, right? They call the halfback 32 dive. Okay, I knew I was going up the middle. If they call the halfback 38 sweep, okay, that's the sweep. I'm going out to taking that toss to the outside. You see? And when if you're playing football and the playbook, it's already written, you study it, you practice it. That's what the prophets are doing with this Bible. If you don't understand it, then hey, guess what? We're moving on. But you ain't fit. Back in high school, back in when I played football, you couldn't get the playbook, you couldn't get the play down. Guess what? They're moving on from you. Same thing with Yahweh. He's gonna move on from you if you can't get, or the prophet, his prophets. We're gonna move on from you if you don't understand. Well, the playbook is being broken down. We understand the playbook because of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? Verse 11. And from that time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,335 days. All right? That's a time frame which right now I don't have the understanding on that time frame. I know the elders have broken down verses 11 and 12, but I'm still not on that level. There are things we still learn in this truth. All right? But verse 13, I can break this one down. Verse 13, it says, but go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. All right, you see that? So at the end of the day, Yahweh told Daniel, go thy way until the end. Right, because Reincarnation is in the Bible. Regeneration is in the Bible. So Yahweh and Daniel both knew that he would be back. He said, "For thou shalt rest," meaning you should die. You're going to die, Daniel. And then you're going to stand in your lot at the end of the days. So Daniel obviously was reincarnated, regenerated in these last days. Daniel is one of the brothers outside prophesying. And again, we go back to Ecclesiastes 1:10, I think. No, it's 11. 1 and 11. There is no remembrance of the former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of the things that are come with those that shall come after. So there's no remembrance. Daniel, like whoever the Lord reincarnated as Daniel, he doesn't know he was Daniel in his past life, because we don't have that type of remembrance or knowledge. Really, it would torment you, right? If you knew if you knew about your past life and you knew who you are and what you did and things that happened to you, that would fuck with a lot of people. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close out on that, and I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.